Hello and welcome to Bounty in the Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounty in the Comics. I'm joined by our associate editor, Spencer Bacouli. How's it going?
Pretty well. Yourself?
Doing well. It's been a pretty busy day. We started a little bit late here. My daughter was giving me the signs that she was getting a little hungry, getting a little agitated. So I was taking care of that right before we started here. So that's why we're a little bit late. Because when I set it up, she was not doing that. And then, of course, right when we're about to go, she started doing that. So taking care of that. But there's a couple things we're going to talk about here. Talk about IGN and switching their Loki reviewer. And then we're going to talk about, I guess we'll talk about this first. Netflix has canceled the Frank Miller Cursed live action adaptation series that was on Netflix. It was the diverse King Arthur show, and it's been canceled after one season. No more. The Get Woke, Go Broke still rings true. Because you remember that show was about what's the Lady of the Lake, and she's actually King Arthur, and she's got the sword, and Arthur's a black guy, and they were totally taking some liberties with the King Arthur myth story,
to say the least. Yeah.
So I got this article from TV Line here. We'll just kind of go through it. That's not what I want to do. I do not want to share a video file. Here we go. Before we get to that, no, I don't want to subscribe to notifications. Before we get to this, I do want to shout out folks in the chat. We've got Raquel, Emperor of Corruption. He says first, Culture Casino. He says LOL, typical IGN behavior.
It really is.
Shout out to Culture Casino. He nailed it on Taskmaster's Identity when he was here with us. 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Mm-hmm. 2.
On the Black Pill stream, absolutely called that. So
definitely right.
Kudos to Culture Casino. He was definitely right on that one. So that shouldn't have been a surprise if you're here on the Black Pill stream with us, but Culture Casino was revealed that
guys,
secret.
Why are you acting so surprised? You should be watching all the time.
Yeah. We got Vintage Comic Love is here. He's saying, "What up, my Ewoks?
What up, my Wicket?"
Zach 7 is here. He says, "Of course they did," referring to the headline. And with IGN dropping their Loki reviewer. And then Vintage Comic Love also says, "Poor guy, now he might have to find a job that actually pays well." Well, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's actually part of this story here. And then we got Matafrack. He says, "Hail, Matafrack. It's good to see you." But yeah, this is their headline. Cursed, canceled at Netflix.
Canceled.
It's one and done
always.
It's one and done for Netflix's drama series about the legendary Lady of the Lake. Curse has been canceled after just one season. TV Line has confirmed. Per the official logline, Curse was a reimagining, aka woke diversity show of the Arthurian legend told through the eyes of Nimue, a teenage heroine with a mysterious gift who is destined to become the powerful and tragic Lady of the Lake. After her mother's death, she finds an unexpected partner in Arthur, a young mercenary. He's a black guy. In the quest to find Merlin and deliver an ancient sword. Over the course of her journey, Nimue will become a symbol of courage and rebellion against the terrifying Red Paladins and their complicit King Uther. So even
cool.
King Arthur's dad apparently is a bad guy. I think I watched a couple episodes of this, and then I noped out. So this doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I watched the first 2 episodes. It looked cool. There were some cool visuals. I really do like the Red Guard, and then there was the this whole scene where some their sect or whatever burns down a village because they use magic, and it was just really well shot. But it was beyond super woke. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the
cool
stuff that I like.
Can't ever help you.
Right, I love this stuff. I love the swords and sorcery stuff. This is right up my alley.
This is exactly for you. Yeah.
This is the stuff that but I was done. I was just absolutely I can't take this anymore. Just no, you're too many liberties. This isn't Fate. This isn't.
No, I know. Seriously, yeah, right. This is not close.
And then even Fate actually like, yeah, they might gender swap Arthur or whatever, but like it's still Arthur, you know, like it's Arthur, but like the only difference is that it's a female Arthur. You still have that honor, that pride, that humility as well. That
character still has that.
I guess I don't know.
Right, you're kind of making the same argument there.
No.
If you're saying that's King Arthur but a girl, and this is King Arthur but black, then
no. I said the character Arthur was black. I did not make that argument all about him, and I would not describe him as that either. So no, absolutely not. I'm trying that like that. That's not what I said. Okay. I didn't say that at all.
That's what it seemed like to me because you're saying
No, I was describing the Arthur from Fate. I didn't even describe the Arthur from Cursed, and he's not like that. I would say he's more naive than anything.
But he's a much younger King Arthur. He's not the King Arthur.
He's not King Arthur.
Right, because he's not there yet. He's not King Arthur. He's just Arthur at that point. Like this is, I don't know. That doesn't seem like an argument to me. Because Fate Arthur is character. King Arthur. Right. But they're same character at two different points. Like Fate King Arthur is King Arthur after having, done all of his legendary battles and stuff. And Arthur and Cursed is literally Arthur before he even gets the sword, before he even goes on that path to being a king.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't see that as a big deal.
Yeah, you're taking liberties with the story, for sure.
Yeah, but I don't. Those are equal liberties to me. Making King Arthur a girl and making King Arthur black.
Yeah, I think I'm not saying that Fate shouldn't be doing that, but that's what Fate does. No. Like that's the whole point of Fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want them having Arthur be a female and Cursed either. Should be the white guy that we expect.
But I don't like you're okay with it in Fate, but you're not okay with it in Cursed.
No, I'm not. But that is what Fate does, right? That's the whole purpose of Fate.
That's the whole purpose of this show too.
No, Nimue is still a woman, Lady of the Lake, right? Nimue isn't a man.
Right, but what does that have to do with King Arthur? Is still there, and he's still a character.
You just made the argument that that's what Fate does. So, but that's not like if you apply those same things. Yeah, they do.
Fate changes a character just like Curse changed the character.
It changed one character, but Fate changes they change all the characters.
I know, and what I'm saying is that to me,
and I'm arguing Curse doesn't do that because Nimue is still a female.
Right, it doesn't do that, but I'm saying like the change. It just seems that if you're saying like, oh yeah, Fate does it and everybody changes, and I'm fine with that, but I'm not fine with one change to the character being black, like. It's just a weird.
No, it's not. It's not because if you're looking at it from a fictional perspective, that is the whole idea of the Fate universe, right? That's what Fate specifically does. Whereas Cursed is telling you and is basing it off a lot of it still on the Arthurian legend.
But so is Fate. That King Arthur doesn't exist without that Arthurian legend in Fate. It just so happens that you're summoning King Arthur forward, and he appears as a anime girl, like. It's still King Arthur. He is still King Arthur, just like Nero is still the Roman Emperor Nero, just like Ishtar is still Ishtar. It's just they appear in this different form.
I think you're stretching it there.
No, because it is them. When you summon in Fate, when you say I'm summoning Gilgamesh, you are summoning King Gilgamesh himself, but he appears in this modern world as the golden-haired anime boy. Even though he is still supposed to be that same King Gilgamesh who swept across like the ancient states way back in the day.
Yes.
And so to me, in Cursed, the fact that King Arthur is black, like, yes, it was a woke decision to make it, but like just him being black doesn't, I don't care if King Arthur is black. I really don't.
I do. So
if you're saying I'm going to do a 1-to-1,
and I think
if you're saying I'm going to do a 1-to-1 adaptation of King Arthur's story, then yes, make him black. But when you've got monsters and magic and everything that doesn't exist in the real world, and you're straight up saying
the Arthurian legend has that. That's in the Arthurian legend,
right? But that Arthurian legend didn't happen in real life.
It's based off. If you actually look into it, a lot of it did. A lot of it did happen.
Magic lady did not come out of the lake and give him a sword.
I'm not saying like that's not what I said.
And again, there's also nobody's even positive about who
just move on.
Nobody even knows who if a historic King Arthur existed. There are like several different kings that provide the different bases for these stories.
Right, which is the point that I was going. Which is the point I was making.
But even no, because the point of that is that we don't know if any of these legends are completely true. We don't know how much. We're just taking the story as it was written, and we don't even know if
there's a lot of history to it.
There's a lot of history, but not exactly like. All right.
I think we're not getting anywhere, and we're just kind of bickering back and forth, and it's not entertaining me. I doubt it's entertaining anyone else in the chat.
I was having fun, but okay.
that was not fun for me.
It was fun to me.
Over the course of her journey, Nimue will become a symbol of courage. Like, okay, we already read that. It had Catherine Langford as Nimue, Devin Terrell's Arthur, and that's pretty much it. It's canceled. It's not happening anymore. No one, I assume no one was watching it. I guess it was only 10 episodes. It dropped last year, so it was one and done, and Cursed is gone. And I think that just is another proof that Get Woke, Go Broke. Even though it was based off of the Frank Miller novel, I think he co-wrote it with I forget who it was.
Some other guy,
But that was the whole. That was like I remember the guy was like marketing the book along because I think the book hadn't come out yet.
It hadn't.
They were doing the TV show and like they were making it at the same time as the novel, and the co-author with Miller was marketing it as a woke guy. And Millionaire's Power asked him what legend is. We're not. I don't even want to get into that. Because we're just gonna move on. All right, let's. Do we have the IGN stuff? Let's get into that.
I've got it.
Let's pull that up. Let's get rid of this because the IGN stuff is actually really funny because the guy's like episode 4 review is pretty much his verdict is very similar to what my verdict is. and then episode 5 they brought in a new person. The guy they had doing episode 4 did 1, 2, and 3. So he did all of them.
The webcam hasn't even been on. Wow, I'm done.
Oh.
It totally meant to be on.
I thought you had that off on purpose. I thought there was
I totally blanked on that one. Wow. It was completely on when we were talking before the show started, and then I don't know what I did.
No, it was always.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh man,
no,
I screwed up then. I must have not hit start. I must not have start when we got on. All right, here we go. I've got it all. So, we have last week, or not last week's episode, because last week's episode of Loki was the multiverse one, or was that this week's? That was this week's. So
this week's Journey into Mystery.
Right, yeah. So last week's was the really boring Loki episode with the awful timekeeper reveal and the awful fight scene and basically Owen Wilson dying, basically awful everything, right? So
getting zapped.
He was getting zapped, yeah.
So it was terrible.
Because of that, so IGN they gave their review and they had this guy. His name was.
I gave it a 5. I gave it a 1.5.
I know. So this guy Siddhant Adalka was reviewing Loki for IGN. He did episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm pretty sure he gave them they got decent-ish reviews, like 7s, 8s, 9s, typical Marvel fluff. But then he got to this episode and he gave it a 5, and he basically said, what's happened? Nothing's going on in this episode.
Yeah, just go down to his verdict.
I'm going down to the verdict right now. Nothing's going on in this episode. Right here.
It is.
Loki's 4th entry jogs in place. The story grinds to a halt so it can retread and speed through character beats, and the plot, ironically, begins to feel as deterministic as the Timekeepers, leaving little room for tension or possibility. The one saving grace is its post-credit scene, which feels more exciting than the rest of the episode, which is exactly the sentiment we all took away from it.
He's 100% right in that review.
And then he also took issue with Sylvie's bisexuality, and this is where everybody started losing their minds because
Loki's. Loki's.
Yeah, so he goes into the end.
He actually does.
So he starts with the TVA. He says, even the larger premise concerning the zealotry of the TVA now appears to be the result of brainwashing. And while this could result in interesting future outcomes, it makes the TVA's fascist and propagandist aesthetics feel like haphazard window dressing. Why invoke the design of the Nazis if your fascist foot soldiers have no real perspective or autonomy? Again, it's because Marvel.
What?
It's no.
He's thinking the TVA. He thinks the TVA's Nazis.
They look like them. The foot soldiers, they're definitely designed like Nazi storm soldiers or
I guess you see that in Renslayer's outfit a little bit.
You see it in all of them.
With their helmets and stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. I saw them as just like pencil pushers.
I saw the TVA as like you have the pencil pushers, but then when you got to go do something, you send out your super fastest
the Minutemen.
Yeah, exactly. So but again, he's calling out Marvel rightfully because it is just their imagery. When you say that and you put this imagery there, and then you just go, oh well, it doesn't really matter. They were all brainwashed. It really does make again, it makes everything that came before make no sense. It makes it seem like you're just doing it to get the easy credit points, right? So then
like Loki's hug,
right? Exactly like Loki's hug.
Episode.
But then he continues. The reason these Loki variants were targeted is yet to be revealed, and while the answers will likely be appropriately comic booky, the show appears to have painted itself into a bit of a corner. We know little about Sylvie apart from the fact that the TVA tried to erase her from existence as a child, and the fact that she's bisexual. Of course, her sexuality.
So we don't know that about her, though.
What, that she's bisexual?
No, the bisexual is. I mean, I guess the fact that Loki is bisexual, right? The male Loki. I don't think they revealed hers.
She said it.
She's the one who She's the one who makes the line about male Loki being bisexual. I don't think they tell us what her interests are, because I think it's just Hiddleston's Loki.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, so she's talking about that in reference to male Loki, and then he says a bit of both. I suspect the same as you, and I don't know if she confirms that or not. So it's possible. I don't remember, but he says like I suspect the same as you.
Yeah.
But that's
you're right. You're totally right. Yeah, it's unconfirmed, but so Sylvie's is unconfirmed, but just assumed because it's a Loki. But of course, her sexuality hasn't factored into the plot thus far, and given the practicality, nothing else about her has factored into it either. The show appears to have accidentally tumbled. Her sexuality factored into the plot.
Episode 4 was all about that was the main episode where they had that romance moment.
No, that's not what he's talking about. He means like there's been no plot dedicated to her like bisexuality. Not that she's not having romance. It's just like it's not been a part of the show, is what he's saying essentially. Like it's not a story. We just know it.
I mean that like the whole point of that Nexus event within the Nexus event is because they were like
right, but no,
about to kiss or whatever.
He's not saying there's no sexuality, like she's not indulging in her sexuality and being attracted to Loki and stuff. He's saying her bisexuality. They haven't shown her being attracted to a woman, right? That none of that has really factored into the plot, like, and that's all he's saying because they did that, definitely.
I guess. I mean, they haven't shown her doing anything bisexual, but they've definitely shown her being attracted to male Loki, and that's definitely affected the plot.
Right, but that's a different. That's factored in, but that's not her bisexuality. It's not talking about like here's a story about being bi. Let's talk about my character. You know,
well,
like CW would do is what he's saying.
But he doesn't. I mean, he says the fact that she, of course, her sexuality. But he says. Can you zoom it in a little bit more?
Yeah.
So he says right there, or he writes right there, we know a little about Sylvie apart from the fact that the TVA tried to erase her from existence as a child, and the fact that she's bisexual. Of course, her sexuality. So he's not. Yeah, there's a semicolon there, so he's giving you a different thought. He says, of course, her sexuality hasn't factored into the plot
I don't
thus
think
far.
That's what he's saying. I don't think.
But given that practicality, nothing else about her has also factored.
I mean, that's not what he's saying.
Surface level, what he's saying.
I think he wrote it wrong, but I don't think that's what he's saying. I don't think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I do know.
Of course, her bisexuality. He could have written that, and that changes
but if she is bisexual, that is her sexuality. And if her sexuality is not factoring into the plot, then it means that nobody is focusing on her being bisexual. Nobody is talking these stories about how hard it is to be bisexual, or let's explore a bisexual romance. Yes, she has had a romantic interaction with Loki, but none of that has been centered on let's discuss specifically my sexuality. That's right, what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way of
no,
reading
John, I know how you're reading it, but that's what he means when he says sexuality, because he literally said bisexual right there. A semicolon does another thought, but it's still continuing off of what came before.
I guess. I mean, I disagree with you on that, but I don't think we're going to come to an agreement on how we're reading it. I think that's what he's saying there is.
Either way, it doesn't matter because given that practically nothing else about her has factored into it either, the show appears to have accidentally tumbled into volatile imagery of distinctly Nazi-esque officers hunting down and trying to erase queer people like Sylvie and Loki from existence. Which right there is like a contradictory thing. Like I don't understand how you can say her sexuality doesn't factor into the plot, but now it looks like you have Nazis hunting queer people. Like,
how do you watch this show and get that?
You have to take a lot of context away from it. Like, you really have to take a lot of context away from it.
Maybe there's a reason why this guy was
again,
replaced.
like you say imagery, but again, there's no bisexual imagery, whatever the hell you want to call that. So like, if you want to look at imagery, I can give you the Nazi imagery, sure. So, but you only have Nazi imagery hunting down time variants. Like, that's the imagery there. There's no bisexual imagery. It's so weird. Like, he had it in the first half and then he lost it.
How do you like watch a TV show like through this lens? Like, what? I don't even know how.
I feel like people who watch TV through this lens just don't have fun. Like, I don't know why they watch TV. They want so many people go into these shows looking for like things to complain about. Like,
this is literally like, this never popped into my, like, the TVA hunting down LGBTQ people, like, never popped into my head.
Never popped into my head
whatsoever. I don't even know how you come to that conclusion or even like think about that. It's just really strange.
It's kind of, I can see it's like how some people in our community are super plugged into like they see everything as woke. Like, like you know, like, oh, there's a girl character that exists, woke, awful, SJW, destroy it. Like, though, that's the same sort. Like, on the other side, that's how they are. They're just waiting for. They're essentially, what is it? They're tilting at windmills.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, that's one of the things that I try. Like, I think that this is why the Loki show is even worse than what a lot of people think, is because they treat Sylvie like an idiot too. Like, she's treated just as an idiot as Hiddleston's Loki. Sometimes even worse. Like the whole like, she has like this whole big plot to like do the time bomb stuff. They just completely ignore that, and after this like big scheme that she's created and like actually like successfully executed, the next thing she does is just like, I'm just gonna go charge headfirst with my sword. It's like, what? You just spent like years planning like this time bomb thing. I think you can think of something creative.
Yeah, right.
And just like go chop people with your sword. And then she also like literally has Renslayer captured, and instead of like using the tempad to take her to another point in time where she can like enchant her, she's just like, oh, I trust you. So stupid.
Right. Like, it's none of this is good writing. Like, it's the same problem we were talking about on Black Pill Stream. There's maybe 10-20 minutes maybe of good stuff, and then everything else is just filler. And when they do the filler,
only in
they
episode
just
5
try to fill. Yeah, right.
I
was talking about like the show altogether.
Seriously, there's only about 20 minutes of 5 hours that we've seen.
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, it's pretty bad.
And most of those 20 minutes are like Owen Wilson.
Yeah, for the most part. Yahtzee Istaphobe thinks Loki is behind the TVA. I saw that theory running around with Screen Rant. I don't know.
I would roll my
They
eyes.
do that. It's just another insult to the audience, I think.
Oh, yeah,
subvert those expectations.
Subvert those expectations. Oh my god! Just like Taskmaster, subvert your expectations that everybody guessed from the freaking get-go.
I thought they followed the comics to a T, according to Victoria Alonso. What?
Wait, but I thought that Jack Schaefer doesn't read comic books. I thought that you don't have to run a show at Marvel. Wait a minute. It's almost like they don't know what they're doing anymore.
Yeah.
It's almost like there are too many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, I don't know if there's too many cooks, but you have one cook, Kevin Feige, putting all the bad ingredients in the recipe.
That's true. You had a really good chef who went to like a weekend retreat with a bunch of other chefs to do experimental cooking, and then came back with all of those ideas, and they all suck now, and your restaurant's terrible.
No, what's the American's name who like lived in France and then brought the French cooking back?
Oh gosh,
they did a movie about her.
They did.
Meryl Streep played her, I think.
Oh, I forget. I know.
It's actually pretty good. She had a TV show and everything, I think, back here, stateside when she came back, because she was like married to like the ambassador or something, or some kind of like State Department official. I can't remember. But that's what it was. You had her like, and then they went and got like the guy who runs the hot dog stand.
Julia Child, isn't it?
Yeah, Julia Childs. Yeah, that's it, Julia Childs. They had Julia Childs, who like literally went to France, figured out how to like make the perfect, and then Americanized that like those awesome French recipes.
That's essentially what Feige's doing.
No.
Marvel, and then he learned how to Disneyify all the great Marvel recipes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
it's just what he did.
Yeah. See, no, I don't know. That's not the right analogy that I was trying to make. The analogy I was trying to make was that you had Julia Childs like giving you these like great recipes and like really good food and everything. And they've replaced her now with like the Roach Coach vendor down the street. Yeah.
No, let's not just Roach Coaches.
I mean, I know. I mean, Philadelphia Roach Coaches are the best.
Dude, they're so good.
But
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about like
a distinct level of difference.
I'm talking about like the bad Roach Coaches, not like the ones where you get like the super good Philadelphia soft pretzels.
The Roach Coaches where you're not even sure that like they have a valid license.
Yeah, it's that that Liberty Mutual commercial where you think you're getting like a good hot dog and he's giving you wet sneakers or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, like you don't want that Roach Coach.
But that's the Marvel Roach Coach. Eat up. Yeah. But so this reviewer, he ends it, aside from his weird thing about queer people being hunted, whatever, he ends it with a pretty, apt point. He says,
very critical.
Yeah, the smoke and mirrors within the story are no doubt meant to conceal the real villain's identity. However, the show applies those very same smoke and mirrors to its own dramatic presentation, and in the process ends up obscuring so much plot urgency and meaningful character drama. Hopefully it can make good on at least some of its promises next week. So yeah, definitely a lot nicer than we would have put it, but pretty much where we are, where it doesn't know what it wants to do. It lies to, or not, maybe lies isn't the right word, but it insults its audience with the whole, like, again, I still can't get over Loki being defeated by a bunch of humans. I just can't.
No.
Like, I still just can't get over it. But so this guy throws out that review, which is a very reasonable review.
He gave it a 5, right? I think I saw a 5.
Yeah, I think it was a 5. Let me find that tweet. Yeah, gave it a 5. Story grinds to a halt so it can retread and speed through character beats, and the plot, ironically, begins to feel as deterministic as the Timekeepers, leaving little room for tension or possibility.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah, again, like 5 is really high. I think John's score is way more accurate.
I gave it 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5 is probably way more accurate for that episode.
I mean, that was my verdict. I mean, his verdict is very similar to what I wrote.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are on the same point. He's got a little. Yeah. He's got definitely a weirder way of looking at it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't see. He has a weird lens, but you guys are on like the same page.
I mean, it's IGN. He probably has.
I know, right? For a reason, so. I mean, that's why it got a 5 out of everything. Like, he wanted to give it like a 2. But so this review drops last week, and people lost their minds. You had, this was easily the best episode. They shouldn't put a reviewer with ADHD for shows. Almost every words are a step forward. Use this as a dislike button. Like
all the ratio stuff.
Yeah, all the ratio, dumb stuff. This was the best episode. Was the best episode. How do you always miss with these reviews? Like, I follow you guys just for your horrendous takes on everything. Like, it's just this all again, another ratio. Like, Marvel is complete BS nowadays. I don't get why people still watch it. Ratio, You're cute when you pretend to know stuff.
That person isn't getting ratioed, though. They have more likes than comments. That doesn't make sense.
That's a ratio.
Oh, you're talking about the ratio compared to his tweet. Okay.
Yeah. And then, like, IGN, please respond to those questions. Who does these reviews? Like, people I want to know what these guys smoking over there. And then I haven't even looked at the quote tweets, so let's look at the quote tweets. Oh, I got to log in.
Because
we can't look at the quote tweets.
Yeah, because we're blocked.
We are all blocked.
Oh, do they have you blocked personally too?
Oh, my personal account. I could probably pull it up on my personal account. That's right.
I think they have me blocked personally.
Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, maybe they don't.
Yeah, this was, I mean, the Edmonton Oilers guy saying this was the best. Like, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand.
They liked the reveal that the Timekeepers were fake. Like, I don't, like, they liked the romance, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of.
It's really, it's got to be the romance.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be what it is, because that is all that really happened in that episode, aside from that really bad reveal.
It's just people who watch shows to shit people.
I mean, that's just basically what their audience is at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. And that's who they want to appeal to. Remember that. Remember that the next time they try to cry.
And wine moms.
Yeah, the wine moms especially. When you said that on Wednesday, where you're like, that blanket scene was made just for the wine moms, like, I've been thinking about that all day. Like, it so is. Like,
yeah, Gary put me onto that. That their target audience, I think Culture. It might have been. It was like a combo between Gary and Culture Casino, like pointing out that they can make more money off these wine moms, and that's who they're targeting other shows now.
Oh man, they just have to appeal to the wine moms, and then they can sell them like live, laugh, love stickers in the Loki font, or like live, laugh, Loki. Live, laugh, Loki. I'm calling it right now. We're gonna see it. I hate myself for having brought that into the world, but we're gonna see it. So we have the quote tweets, which is even more as extreme, right? Like, gone are the days that IGN actually had decent reviews. This episode was on another level with the way they played with our emotions. Like, just the post scene, this was an exciting episode from start to finish. This proves that not everyone knows what the hell they're talking about.
We got some of these comments on our video too.
Oh, we always do. It's probably from the same people. Like, y'all tripping, y'all
stupid. that video actually had the most views. I was like, this is trash in the headlines. Yeah.
Accurate advertising, guys.
Stirring the pot. No, it's not.
Stirring the pot. Like, this episode was good action and big clues to anyone who really cares.
I actually disagree. I disagree with what.
As someone who hasn't been loving this show, I actually really enjoyed this past episode. That's a wine mom. Like,
yeah,
get out of here.
Like in the photo.
Did whoever review this watch it with their eyes closed? In the words of Loki himself, this is absurd. An article that spins its wheels to say nothing says the show does nothing. Like, are these reviews like your games? Don't actually play the game, don't actually watch the show, which is valid, but
the show doesn't do anything.
No, it doesn't. Like, that episode.
It reveals the timekeepers are fake.
Like, it does something, but in the grand scheme of it, what does it really do? Timekeepers are fake. Great.
Fake, that's it.
That's all you get from that episode. Like, that's all it is. The more of that episode's plot line is in Journey into Mystery, where Renslayer is like getting called out by or not Renslayer. No, yeah, Renslayer is getting called out by 15, and just like all that stuff was related.
That was pointless too.
Yeah, that was completely pointless, but at least it was more related than anything else in that other episode. And so it just going like this. Just worst review, you should stick to reviewing video games. Literally, reviews suck ass.
Their video game reviews, I don't look at their video game reviews.
No, their video game reviews are bad. Like, who let this man?
I used to read their video game reviews.
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, when I was like 12, 13, I was all about IGN. Like, they were my main source, and it's probably since all this stuff started happening, 2014ish, that I was just like, can't do it anymore. Like, you guys.
I just look at for video games now. I just like, what does the gameplay look like? I'm like, am I going to enjoy this gameplay? That's all I care about.
This game, then I am in for this game. Like, so they basically, you've got everybody out here. Best episode, blah blah blah, and so that's what happens on that end. And then
let's go to episode 5, and we've got a new reviewer.
So we come back to episode 5, and Journey into Mystery, fantastic. And we go to, what's this? Simon Cardy. That's
you're on the wrong tab.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, so you're on the episode 4 tab still.
I'm sharing the wrong.
You're in the right window.
I had the wrong window open. I have 2 windows open for it.
Oh well, you had the episode 5 review was just in the tab.
I know. I have them open in both, but this one I'm about to bring up has all of the tweets and stuff. Like,
okay,
it's all ready to go. But so yeah,
Simon Cardy.
Loki episode 5. You got your review. And you have this new person, Simon Cardy, who, as far as I can tell, just another guy on IGN. But that was literally the next episode over. And if you go to the episode or the tweet for episode 5, Journey into Mystery on IGN, gave it that 8, delivers a race and fight against time that manages to balance visually impressive action with some standout quieter moments, keeping up the pace set by last week's revelation, blah, blah, blah. But in the comments, you had everybody going, like, y'all gave, everybody was on it about the last episode, and other people were praising the fact that there's a new reviewer here. Like, where was, like, IGN, like, so Loki is good. Where was it? I know that I've.
Which version of IGN review is this?
Really, this is and they're not even satisfied here. Like, really, this is an idiot review. This is an easy 10 out of 10.
No, that person is just literally reacting to the Asgard creation scene, and he thinks it's a 10 out of 10. That's literally all he's reacting to.
Which is, or let's hope that's all he's reacting to, and not anything else. But you know, like IGN switches up more than my wife. Damn, did the last reviewer get pruned or something? And I don't know what this is.
Is that the same guy?
Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know.
I mean,
that's what I've heard.
Three's kind of low, but I mean,
but I'm not expecting like 8s or 9s. I heard the Tomorrow War was just all right.
I'd probably give it a 4 or 5.
Yeah. See, so he's probably. Yeah, and see, why did a guy called Sidant do the episode before? And nobody has really a reply to him. Yeah, Marvel nerds were bullying IGN. They didn't like his opinions on Ep 1-4 and the score he gave. So IGN, like the cowards they are, removed him. And
MCU stands are the worst. I agree.
He must be a new reviewer because last week's reviewer was terrible and must have watched the wrong show.
Yeah, there you go. Imagine people having different opinions. Imagine that.
What a crappy opinion because everyone thought it was good. No, they didn't. Like, it's so sad. Like, that IGN came to this. Right here. Anyone complaining about a number at the end of a review is aggressively boring and misses the entire point of, well, I wouldn't call it art, but reviewing art.
Yeah.
You don't want to read a review. You want to read validation that the thing you like is good and worth taking seriously. Dang. Called out.
Panos says Loki really got a mass. Yeah, especially in episode 4. That's why it was so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just MCU fans have no idea how reviews and criticism work. LOL. A 5/10 is average, not necessarily good or bad. A 6 out of 10 is technically a good score. Y'all just force IGN to inflate their scores and switch critics because y'all can't handle criticism.
I'll disagree with that. I think most of them think that a good movie, they'll give it like an 8.
Oh, no, that's what they think. Yeah. He's saying this is what it should be. Because in reality, that's like 1 through 10, that's what it should be. Like,
yeah, that's what we do. But most of these people, they're all inflated.
Oh, they're for these people, if it's not a 9.5 or higher, it's why did you watch the wrong movie? You didn't do this. And it's like, chill out. Like, watch what happens this weekend with Black Widow, guys. And
it's already
it's gonna be happening.
It's already on IMDb. It's like 7.5.
Oh boy, here we go.
Whereas Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 96 or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, 7. It's down. It's 7.3. It's gonna go down.
Let's go.
Because remember, the people who see it right away are usually like the super people that are gonna probably give it a really good review, and they're already ready to like love it. And then
they're going into this movie knowing what they think already.
Whereas like now like it's already going down. The IMDb score is already down from what it was this morning. It's at 7.3. And then the Rotten Tomatoes score, let's see, it was at like 96 this morning. Let's see what it's at now. The critic score has been going down too. It's at 81 already. Yeah, it's at 94 Rotten Tomatoes, and that's their verified. If you go to all audience, it was at 92. It's at 89 now. So all audience score is at 89. Dang. And it's got a 4.4 out of 5. So it's going down. The Metacritic's probably a lot.
Yeah, a lot of the reviews I've seen coming out have actually been like, it's okay in the beginning, and then
6.9 on Metacritic. 6.9 on Metacritic. For Black Widow. So that's the user score. Mjolnir's Power says Doctor Strange stands no chance against Loki. Well, that's not true in MCU Mjolnir's Power. Doctor Strange already humiliated Loki in Thor Ragnarok, where he just has him drop through he just continuously drops through the sanctum.
Yeah, that was cool.
Until Doctor Strange decides to let him go, whereas like I think Loki would have figured out a way to get out of there, especially since we now know that Richard Grant has portal powers. And we saw Loki do it too.
Loki doesn't.
He does though, or I guess that Loki didn't, but the Loki that we're seeing in this show does. He uses them in episode 3
again,
where they're on the purple planet on Leventus 1 or whatever, because he uses it to teleport behind Sylvie.
Oh, I know. No, I'm right there with you. He does have it. It's just inconsistent writing. Again, it's the Ray thing. It's just give them powers when they need the powers. Don't explain how they get them or learn them.
Yeah, and apparently, like there's like some like. they have this. The people who are doing the show think that Loki only is about like daggers or something, and so Grant's saying like, oh, like you need to. Our illusion magic is so much more powerful. It's like what? He literally uses that in the first Thor movie. It's like one of the coolest scenes in the movie.
But he's saying like you can
himself.
do it way more. Like that's what he's saying.
Well, right.
I totally got that. But there's no reason why Loki should not be using those powers, or like he's not even in the TVA now. Like why are you not using your powers? I don't know. I don't get it.
Because they don't have a budget and they spend it all on Alioth and recreating Asgard.
Yeah, for real, they really did. And hiring like Hiddleston and all the big names.
Well, he got executive producer credit too, so he's probably getting other kickbacks. Yeah. All right, but yeah, so they switched this reviewer. This reviewer gives it a way better score. I mean, it was a better episode too.
It was a better episode, but yeah, they complained that somebody didn't like their episode to the point where IGN caved and replaced the reviewer. And
sort of looks like at least, yeah.
Yeah, it's what it looks like on the
Can't
surface.
Confirm that, but
he is at least replaced on that beat, especially because if you go to his own personal Twitter account, he publishes his Loki episode 5 review on his own Patreon. So he clearly had it ready to go. There was he was on it, and
he did it.
Something happened there.
Yeah,
whether it was maybe his time on that beat was up, or Marvel fans, that's what I think happened. The Marvel fans, browbeat IGN into dropping him. Whatever it is, it's stupid.
IGN might have got a little note from Disney.
Who did?
No, I'm saying they might have got a little note from Disney.
Oh, absolutely.
What's going on here?
Like, hey, what is this? I think you meant an 8. You're missing the other side of that number right there.
No, these huge media companies, I think, put a lot of stock in IGN. That's why they give them their trailers, and IGN releases the trailers at the same point. And they're top of YouTube on all the trailers.
Yeah, dude, I hate that. IGN gets that from I mean, they've been around for probably the longest, and I get why they get these trailers and stuff because we get them too, and they're obviously a bigger news source. But I don't know why they're the priority on YouTube, and people put so much stock in them.
YouTube prioritizes them over Marvel Studios, the Marvel channel, or the Warner Brothers channel, or the Paramount channel. And it's let me find that channel, please. Thank you. Let me go to the source. Mjolnir's power even is talking about this. When Loki forced the formation of the Avengers and the team confronts him, he irradiates his body, forcing all the Avengers back. Yeah,
in the comics.
Well, he kind of does that a little bit when he has them all bow. Remember, he uses that's not the Avengers, but he's got the humans. No, but he's still he uses his powers to make them bow, doesn't he?
That was the stone.
I know he's using the stone.
Staff,
yeah. But I mean, I assume he was using putting his own powers in there. There's going to be something where the stone wipes his memory or something.
That didn't bow to him.
Yeah, there's one guy who didn't because he had a strong will or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was either. But I just remember that because then Cap shows up and the shield. And he's immune to whatever Loki. He's immune to whatever Loki tries to do. But Loki was literally the main threat of the Avengers movie. And now he's getting beat up by random human people on Leventis 1. And he was even a threat in Dark World too. Even with the daggers, you want your dagger moment. He was cool there.
Yeah. But yeah. So this guy is
daggers and
this guy is still doing his reviews, but not for IGN anymore. Is he still employed by IGN?
It says IGN in his profile still. I just don't know if he's updated it yet.
Can we go to the Loki episode 4 review and then click his name and see?
Looks like he reviewed Zola on the 2nd of July. So that was a week ago.
So what was episode 4 was?
Episode 4 was June 30th.
So
So June 30th, July
he might
2nd,
not be
and then nothing.
He might not be working for IGN anymore after that review.
It also, wow, yeah.
It looks like it looks like he's just a reviewer. He doesn't. Is that all he does? Is do reviews?
Looks like.
So it looks. Oh no, he's got a Y John Walker.
Y John Walker.
He does opinion pieces. He literally writes opinion pieces for them.
Like a full-on reviewer, like
not bad
a staff writer. Yeah.
Yeah, he did
all these movies.
He did Invincible review. Yeah, he's a reviewer.
Yeah, he's a reviewer. So the fact, and there's been some. I mean, let's see if he drops their Black Widow review. Do they have a Black Widow review?
I'm sure. Yeah, it's probably. It was up a while ago.
There it is. Nicole Clark.
Yeah, that's not surprising that they got a female to do that.
She's like a Disney reviewer. She's like oh wow, that's it.
Oh, she's only done like 6.
She's only done Raya, a couple of articles on Raya, a review of Raya, a review of Luca, a review of Black Widow, and a review of Shadow and Bone, which I think you said like your stepsister, or not stepsister,
sister-in-law. Yeah,
like
she liked that. She likes it a lot.
But yeah, so that's what we
gotta take her recommendations.
Raylo Jason.
She liked the last. She doesn't like it anymore, but she used to like it. So
look at that women.
Freaky B says this is just the Sylvie show. I disagree with that. I think it's just like the terrible writing show. Like it's not even the Sylvie show, because what they do to her is terrible too. And then at the end of this last episode, she can't actually enchant Alioth by herself. She needs Hiddleston to do it. And then she wouldn't have even been able to do it without Grant's character. So being a distraction, and then Hiddleston was a distraction beforehand. So I don't know. I disagree with that assertion. I don't think that it is the Sylvie show. They treat her just as bad as they treat Hiddleston's Loki. And I guess that's kind of why the parts where they are like, just like, there was this one part in the last episode where they're both like, your plan sucks, like trying to kill it is stupid. And then Loki and Hiddleston's Loki is like, your plan to enchant it is idiotic too. like yeah, these are just terrible plans. But I don't know. I thought both plans were actually pretty good. We got to kill it. We got to figure out how to kill it. And he was trying to do that. And then Sylvie showed up and was like, I can enchant it. And we know that she could enchant it because she kind of already somewhat did.
It, yeah.
So she won that argument. And I was fine with that. I thought that was fine.
Yeah, I'm with John here. Like, if only Sylvie had a good enough character to be considered the Sylvie show, then there might be something that makes sense.
Yeah, it might have even been more entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't even get that.
Like if it was actually like the Sylvie show, like they set it up at the end of that first episode where she kills the TVA people or whatever, and it was actually Loki and Owen Wilson just hunting her down across different timelines or whatever, and trying to track her down. Like that could have been a lot more interesting. Even though it should have been them hunting down Hiddleston's character. That's what it should have been. No, episode 3 was really bad too. So episode 4 was the worst. I gave that a 1.5, and I think I probably would. Yeah, and then the reason why I went 1.5 was because I'd already given the episode 3 like a 2, and episode 4 was worse. So I mean, you can't get. It's hard to go when you're that low. It's hard to go lower, right?
What was the episode? What was the ending of episode 3?
Episode 3 was when they're on the purple planet, and it just ends with the planet. With the planet, the spaceship being destroyed by the moon. Yeah. And they just have to, they just walk off. And that's the ending of that. And they're just like resigned. It looks like they're just resigned to dying.
The end of the timeline.
They tried to make it a cliffhanger, but it was like, dude, this show's called Loki. You know they're going to get out of it. You know the TV's going to come and rescue them. So there was like it wasn't a good cliffhanger.
No, it's not good. You all know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, you knew that they're going to get out of it.
It's interesting to see. It's more of a cliffhanger from Owen Wilson's character last episode with his dumb decision to go fight the TVA. That's more of a cliffhanger than that was.
Yeah, that's dumb too, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't like Owen Wilson's plan is dumb. It is extremely dumb, and that writing was really dumb. But
just going by himself to the TVA, it's like what?
Cool, dude.
Like it might work if like he's actually like. I don't know. He could work if he's like, I know where they are. Like I can stop them. Like that's how he's gonna have to play with Renslayer, because there's no way. Like the only other person who would ally with him is B-15. All those other people are so bought in to the TVA ideology.
Dude, I just realized, and it's gonna make me upset. They're gonna make the guy I like at the TVA, the guy who always gets kind of like picked on.
He's gonna join. Yeah.
Well, he's gonna be like the Deus Ex Machina. Like he's gonna have the key to saving the day, and that makes me upset because that's gonna be predictable.
No, well, I mean, they have all those stones and stuff, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about the Infinity Stones. But no, you're totally right. Like, what is Owen Wilson supposed to do? And it's not like he can go in and pretend like, oh, hey, I'm still on your side. You guys all know I'm TVA because everybody knows now that Wilson was eliminated because he didn't hang out with or he didn't go along with Renslayer.
Yeah, people don't actually get pruned, right? Or they're gonna suspect, like if Renslayer, like if there's actually, they could do some like intelligent writing. It's like this is another variant; he needs to be pruned too. Like
right, but no,
yeah,
nope, just hit him.
yeah. Piano says, I guess how they mix it. Like who? Yeah, this was episode 4, right? This is the beginning of episode 4, with the Nexus event within a Nexus event, and it apparently creates like the Nexus energy, so they can actually track it. Whereas the whole working theory that the show told us was that you can't get Nexus energy when you're in a Nexus event. Like that was the whole purpose of that scene of them going to Pompeii. Mm-hmm. And then they completely like, two variants about to kiss breaks it or something. And it's gonna be some like stupid cliche like Wonder Woman after she just became a living weapon to kill it. Like she literally becomes a sword in the sky and like lightning's Ares, and it's like love conquered. It's like, dude, no, you became a giant,
the sword conquered.
You just became a giant sword. Like I guess like your love for humanity allowed you to become that sword, but still like you still had to like physically fight Ares and like defeat him like with violence.
Yeah,
so, no.
It wasn't one of those moments where you like reached out to him, like come over to like. It was not the Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. Like you didn't beat him with the power of love. You beat him with a sword.
Yeah, dude, is this a great? What is this? Is this a set piece? They're not even on a real motorcycle.
This is just the IGN gallery I had up. Yeah, I was just flipping through it.
It looks oh my god, Tom Cruise does his own stunts. At least we get cool motorcycle stunts.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise. I haven't seen him.
I don't have a problem with this because this is just movie making. But I admit, like Tom Cruise's would be way better.
Yeah.
He'd be doing it for real, and that always makes it look better.
Yeah, it does. I don't know, man. I'm just like, what? Like, does she not know how to ride a motorcycle? She might not. I mean, Henry Cavill, like the reason why he's got that Ducati now is because he did Mission Impossible, and he had to like he wanted to do all his own stunts, and they're like, no, man, Tom Cruise has been doing this for years. You got to like get certified and like go through all this training and everything, and he's been doing that. That's why he has the Ducati now. So he like so he can do all of his own stunts like Cruise.
Do you see these two agents in the corner here, John?
Yeah, the black chick. We saw her in the trailer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is there a Black Widow and like a literal Black Widow? And I guess there is, which is
we saw her in the trailer. She was in like one of the trailers. She's in the Red Room, I guess. I mean, I'm fine with that. Valiant did a Divinity's Black, so yeah. I mean, remember
this just looks like a Nerf. That just looks like a Nerf arrow thing.
No, it's literally it's a real bow, I believe.
Is it?
No, I'm thinking of the Star Wars thing where they just combine the two bows to create Janna's bow. They literally just put them together. Yeah, I don't know. From everything I've seen, what they did to Taskmaster, it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of what I've heard they've done to Taskmaster.
Victoria Alonso's like, but it's all.
He doesn't even look cool.
We keep our things to the T. We keep everything to a T. We follow the comics to a T. Like she literally said that this week.
I know, and like we know they don't. We've known they don't since I don't know. What was the first movie to really diverge? Yeah, probably
was
Thor.
Black.
Probably Thor was the biggest one to diverge on that. Yeah, you got.
That's what I pointed to when I was
when
I was writing that article. I was pointing to that. I was like, they don't follow the comics to a T. All you have to do is look at Black Heimdall and Black Valkyrie. And they created a Black Valkyrie in the comics to.
Oh yeah, the retroactive.
Yeah,
make it all. I hate when comics do that.
Chris Neville says Taskmaster is a completely different person. Wait, Taskmaster's mute? Taskmaster's mute in the movie. They made a woman mute.
You just have her up. So you just have.
She can't talk.
You have dude.
She has no. I from what I understand, she has no agency. She's like mind controlled or something like that by her father or something like that.
Dang, strong female characters.
Millionaire's Power says, I always thought the point to Wonder Woman winning over Ares in the movie is that his hate in the end is self-defeating.
Dude, that guy's I hate that guy's character poster. Like you got this cool one of Widow, Taskmaster, whatever, David Harbour looking rad, Florence Pugh looking fine, and then
he looks like he's supposed to have something in his hand.
Dude, he looks like he should be in the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Wow, Chris Neville's saying she doesn't speak at all. That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
Is that his hate in the end is self-defeating? I don't know. I didn't get that. He was winning. He said that in the Wonder Woman movie, Ares' hate in the end is self-defeating. Like, that would actually have been a good theme. I didn't take that away from the film because he was actually winning.
Yeah, I think I see what you're saying, Mjolnir, but yeah, I think I'm with John on this one. We didn't get that moment where he made an intentionally dumb decision because he was being hateful. You know what I mean? Like, he was winning. It literally took that giant sword for him to get
without Wonder Woman intervening, like you have a World War I that's going crazy
very differently. Yeah,
and they're about to deploy like a bunch of like poison gas.
All of whatever her name's poison is. Her special stuff.
Yeah, Dr. Poison or whatever.
Dr. something.
I think that's her name. I think her name's like just Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison? Heck yeah. Back in the day.
It's Dr. something. I know
it is Dr. Poison. I just looked it up.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, I was good. Got that. But nice simple names. Easy.
I know. I was gonna say, like, back in the day when comic book stuff could just be super simple.
So is she actually Taskmaster though, Chris Neville? Does she actually like have the ability to copy people's,
or is it just like
martial arts, or
she uses their tech? Because that's what I was assuming. Like, oh, I'm Taskmaster and I can use everybody's powers, but like you see, he has the gauntlets, like the Black Panther gauntlets, and like a cap shield. So that's what I was guessing.
He's saying he gets killed by his own reflected lightning. I don't know. I thought she shot him with that sword in the sky. She becomes the sword and like smotes him. Like, because that's the whole point. Like they reveal like she thinks she needs that sword to kill Ares, but she's actually the sword. She literally becomes a sword in the sky to defeat him. I don't remember him being killed by his own like lightning attack. I thought she like smotes him with the sword, buys the sword in the sky or whatever. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Oh no! Oh, I know what he's saying. It's because remember he zaps her and then she like takes it into her gauntlet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she goes into the sky and blasts it back with him. So it kind of is, but it's almost more like catching your own thing, adding something to it, and making it go back stronger.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Like she's not just going, haha, it's yours. It's going, yeah, you hit me with this, but let me show you what you can do with the power of love.
Yeah, he's explaining here too. He hits her with lightning, she deflects with her hands, then does it again and kills him.
No, she charges. I'm looking at it right now. She charges it.
Yeah, Chris Neville says she can copy. Okay, at least she can do that. Okay, that's not too bad.
Okay, cool. At least they kept that.
Try to count how many times Black Widow. Oh,
I was about to reply to Chris Neville. Dude, she really shouldn't have survived past Avengers 1. Like, she really shouldn't have. Avengers 1 is the scene where she gets freaking chased by the Hulk and the helicarrier. Like,
oh, when he's brainwashed, yeah.
Yeah.
It down like, in the
Hulk,
down in
like flips
depths,
out.
right?
Yeah, down in the depths of the helicarrier.
He's like destroying the engine room or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that scene is in that was in What If. They changed it. Or like you see her running animated away from him.
Oh, you did? I didn't catch it in the What If trailer.
In the What If trailer.
That's awesome. Ish, hopefully. I don't know. What If?
Yeah, I guess we could talk about What If. Did you watch the new trailer?
I watched the trailer for What If. I'll pull up.
See, I actually I guess we kind of might get back into this debate about just about this what we were talking about earlier at the top of the show with Fate. And so like I'm fine with this because it's like
right
within the fictional universe, it's like a multi.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah, because you can have like Black Panther, be Star-Lord, whatever. Piggy Carter goes under. I'm totally like I think that's actually like an interesting concept within the multiverse, and I'm okay with that. I'm sure I wonder if I bet Eric July would have a different take on that. Still, I would.
Yeah, I think so.
What he thinks about that, but I think as long as you are clearly denoting that this is an alternate dimension
standard one, yeah.
I think you do come in. I think you can have a problem when you like what they did with like Riri and what's the kid they had trying to replace Nova.
Sham, yeah.
Yeah, they did. It was like Marvel Now or whatever. They literally just creating all these new characters just to try to replace the characters, and I think that's that's an issue.
Oh yeah.
Whereas
definitely.
like if you're going to do that, you need to do it. Whereas like no, they're just not an Iron Man clone. They're like if you're going to do reruns, needs to be something else. She needs to be some kind of like mystic or something who might fill that role that Tony Stark had or something like that. Or so she's not like a billionaire philanthropist engineer or something.
You got to do more than just flip their race and their gender. Like give them something interesting, make them not Tony Stark. So actually on that end, surprisingly, I was a little worried about what they're going to do with the series because yes, I love alternate realities. You all know that. Like I talk about it almost every week. So I'm super excited to see the different worlds. But then I saw in the trailer, it actually has a story. Like it's facilitated by Doctor Strange. Like he's following.
It's what it looks like. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Which is, I didn't think that was. I thought this was just going to be like an anthology. You
get the ancient one voiceover.
Yeah, you get the ancient one voiceover,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, right.
Tilda Swinton just like gave that interview, like saying how like basically saying how she implied that she was ashamed of like taking on that role and like
of playing the ancient
one. She's literally coming back in. She's literally coming back in this show.
And voicing it. Yeah, everybody in the What If is voiced by their actors except for T'Challa, obviously, and then I think
I think he is though.
Is he?
Oh, I think they recorded this before.
Wow. Well, if they did, that's hell of a timing.
I think a lot of this was recorded beforehand, and I think I'm not sure. I think that they might have got Downey Jr. back. I'm not sure.
Did they? I couldn't tell.
It sounded like him.
But then not. But maybe that's just like. Hard to tell.
Voice actors can be really good at copying people though, and sounding the same.
Yeah. So
like
as long as
Winnie
the
Pooh guy,
the Marvel's Avengers,
money.
Jim Cummings. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
that guy
dude sounds exactly like classic Winnie the Pooh. Can't tell the difference.
But so like,
there's a reason why it's Winnie the Pooh.
There is a reason he is Winnie the Pooh. But so my fear with the series is like. So I thought it was going to be an anthology, and then I saw like Doctor Strange was giving it a story, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I'd prefer a narrative actually. And then I realized like, oh no, if this is all canon, what if they just do something, John, where they start like pulling in other like these race swap versions of everything?
No, that's right.
New things, and it's like multiverse. Sorry, that's what it was, and it's like yes and no. Like,
I mean, I thought that's what this whole show was about in the first place, was like solidifying the multiverse.
Oh no, solidifying it definitely. That's definitely what the show is. But I mean, like, I just see it more now that they'll use the multiverse as an excuse to swap everybody out for who we want, or who they want rather. Like Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
way
what.
Home. Bye, Peter. Hello, Miles, or something. Like
that's what About says. All these what ifs are just more ways to race swap, gender swap, and sexuality swap characters. I definitely see that. I think that I mean, is that kind of what you're getting at?
I'm getting more at the fact because I'm on your side. Like, if it's a clearly denoted alternate universe, completely fine. Swap around, play around. At least do something interesting to make me want to read it. But I'm not going to be offended by the swapping around. What I'm going to be more on the lookout for is that this series, with its solidification of like the multiverse and just how different everybody can be in all these alternate versions, which like the public hasn't really seen that yet. We've gotten glimpses of like multiverses in Justice League and
definitely Justice League in the cartoons, because you have the whole.
Oh no! I was talking more of the movies. Like I'm talking about the super normies. Like they've heard the word multiverse, but they don't really know it yet. Like it's not like drilled into them. So this show,
you get it in the Flash, the CW Arrowverse.
Oh yeah, you get it. You get it a little bit in the Arrowverse, that's true. So
there's a lot of it in the Arrowverse,
but in the
Arrowverse, did that like right away.
In the Arrowverse, in Arrowverse though, I still feel it's more like, hi, I'm still Barry Allen, and or I guess it's more like what they're doing in What If. I was thinking of something else, but my main concern is less the fact that they are doing all these swaps, because sure, play with that idea. It's that this is how they're going to swap out everybody in the MCU for their Marvel Now crap counterparts. Like this is how you'll get Riri. This is how you'll get that.
They're already doing that in Armor Wars and She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and Arrow or Hawkeye, whatever. Hawkeye, not Arrow, sorry. Hawkeye and looks like Loki as well. So we'll see what happens at the end here.
Ant-Man's in a jar.
The Wasp is going to replace Ant-Man. The Guardians are going to have to get replaced.
Oh no, Gamora will just take the lead.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if she's. I mean, they're all.
Gamora will take the lead. Nebula will join the team, and then they'll introduce they'll introduce Kitty Pryde as Star-Lord from another universe.
Yeah,
that's how we're gonna get Kitty.
I think what they do is they just bring in Cyclops' dad, and
oh my gosh.
Which is basically what the Guardians are.
Corsair,
and what's his team called?
Not Corsair. Starjammers.
Yeah, Starjammers. That's probably what they'll do. No, I really like the animation. I think the animation looks really good in this What If, though.
I'm up for the animation.
Mjolnir's powers, I think the problem is it's been happening too much. I don't know. I feel like the only place it's really been happening is in Arrowverse, where you see a multiverse. I have a bunch of. If you want to just pull up the article, I got a bunch of stuff in the article too.
Yeah,
but pull up the post. Yeah, pull up the article. We can look at the poster because I think the poster has stuff that I didn't even see in the trailer.
Yeah, no, there's one thing distinctly on the poster that wasn't in the trailer that I can think.
Yeah, there, right there, Thanos Gamora, right there.
Thanos Gamora, Strange
Spider-Man.
We kind of see a Spider-Man, but we don't see that cape. We don't see that cape.
He's just webbing, yeah. So then you've got a Widow.
Who's that guy next to Zombie Hawkeye?
Zombie Cap.
Oh, Zombie Cap. Okay, yeah.
You got your Marvel Zombies. You've got your Black Panther Star-Lord, Ultron Vision, which actually looks really cool.
I saw in the trailer it looked like Black Widow had the shield. I wasn't sure if that was Peggy Carter or not because she was in this black suit.
And there's a shot I was just looking at right here. This kind of looks like it would be Black Widow because it I think it's supposed to be Peggy, but it looks like Widow because it's got the red hair and
I think that's just the lighting because she's got the blue suit on there. In the trailer, this it clearly is black. It's a black suit.
Okay. And
she's got the nightsticks or whatever, the shock sticks.
Right.
And then she's got the shield. But we had seen another character with the nightsticks, but she's got a shield. It looks like she's in black. And that could be the lighting, so I'm not sure. No, Mjolnir, that's the Watcher, I think.
In the back, yeah, it's Watcher.
Yeah, he's asking is the face and it's I think that's the Watcher. Because he gave a voiceover in the first one. We had a voiceover from Ultron who's in Vision's body in the second one, which I think that's actually kind of interesting. Obviously, you got T'Challa there. T'Challa as Star-Lord. It looked like T'Challa's someone else as well, not just Star-Lord. It looked like there was a part where
Yondu was there. He was hanging out with Yondu a bunch.
Yeah, there's a guy in a black. So when they show that in this second trailer, they have that. If you just go to the article, maybe look at the video. It should be above there.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh no, I have it. Actually, hit pause and you can. I think I used a screenshot of it. Right there. Go up with the Guardians. One more. There you go.
Oh,
that's Black Panther right there.
Yeah, Black Panther.
They're doing the iconic Avengers shot in New York City, and then they switches to this looks like a Chinese city, based off of the I don't know.
Oh yeah,
it looks like an Asian city.
It's an Asian city, definitely.
And that's right. Black Panther, and then you have Gamora, and then Star-Lord, and I think to the left of Star-Lord, to our right, is Thor. I think that's Thor when you go to the trailer. So they tried to make it seem like the Guardians were replacing the Avengers, but you just have a different team of characters,
Avengers.
and that's Gamora with Thanos' sword too. So, and that's T'Challa, right?
T'Challa and Star-Lord, yeah.
We assume that's the assumption at least. So,
no, it's him. You can see his neck is black, and he has the purple, and he has Star-Lord's costume. That's him.
Or at least that's what they're trying to make you believe, right? I don't know.
you see him in the trailer,
No, I know that, but there could be another person as Star-Lord. I'm not. I think you're right.
And then I think this is Shuri, because there was a shot of like kid Shuri using her stupid ring blasters in the trailer.
Yeah, they do. She's like really tiny too.
Yeah, she's like
definitely
a baby.
I mean, it's possible, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think it's the Watcher because he's been prominent.
He's in that new trailer too.
Neo the Fault says, I'm guessing the Spider-Man episode will probably be like a part of Far From Home.
You're probably right. Like, considering how canon it all is, especially if we're getting Dr. Spider.
The new Spider-Man is called No Way Home.
Yeah, that's why you followed it up. Yeah, I mean the new one. I do that all the time. Don't worry, Neo. Like I type out Far From Home instead of No Way Home all the time.
Oh, he meant the. Oh, yeah, I see that. No way. Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they've played bait and switch with us so many times with the multiverse because they did that with Far From Home. They seem to confirm it, and then nope, it was like Mysterio's still from Prime Universe, and he's faking
and then
it.
You had Quicksilver in WandaVision, which nope, haha, boner, not actually Quicksilver.
It doesn't make because they already showed us that there is a obviously Loki shows us multiple timelines, and then we saw that in the first Avengers as well. Or no, not first Infinity War or Endgame. Endgame we saw. Part. Yeah, Endgame is
Endgame. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And so we've seen that, and then obviously they were doing like really. They were messing with time in Ant-Man and the Wasp because
Quantum Realm did.
With the Quantum Realm stuff and how time acts differently, and Paul Rudd like literally was like in the Quantum Realm for a second, but it was like 5 years past.
Yeah, 5 years when he pops back out, and then of course like Janet was in there since like the Cold War, and then like popped out maybe like 5 years older.
yeah. So they've been teasing a lot of this stuff, so we'll see what happens.
That's the hard thing I think nowadays, guys, is that like John's right. Like we've been baited and switched so much that it's really hard to even try to like have fun fan theories because we're probably going to get crapped on. Anything cool we could come up with looking at this, I feel like Marvel is just going to take it and do the opposite just to subvert your expectations.
Yeah, that really. I mean, just think about this. So after Iron Man, what did they tease us in the post-credit scene? They teased the formation of the Avengers. What did it culminate into? The freaking Avengers movie. What did we get teased in Avengers? Thanos. What did that culminate into? Infinity War and Endgame. Like it wasn't. They weren't. Our expectations weren't subverted. I would say they exceeded our expectations in Endgame with a freaking awesome battle scene with Thanos fighting Captain Thor and Iron Man.
I'd say they even did it in Infinity War with the snap.
Yes.
Like we all knew that like Thanos was a villain and like a threat, but whoa, like that moment hits and you're just like, holy crap. Like, oof.
Yeah, Infinity War is the only problem with Infinity War is Thanos' motivations. They should have left him doing it because he wanted to kill people to please death. They should have kept that. But now this phase seems to all be about subverting the expectations because it got people that just hate. Yeah, I think Chris Neville is right.
Imagine if in the old movies or in the, I guess I'll just call them the first Marvel Cinematic Universe, if Thanos had been teased like that and then he shows up in Infinity War and like another ship lands on him and like the Badoon come out, right? Like that's what Marvel does nowadays. That's what sucks. And then they get mad at you for going, why did you think Thanos was going to be a big deal? We never said Thanos was going to be a big deal. He just showed up in all these post-credit scenes. You fans are
he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had like the whole like random scene in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the whole point of Ronan finding the Power Stone is because Thanos has tasked him to find it.
Yeah. The whole movie happens because of that. So yeah, imagine if Thanos was a non-factor in Infinity War and you had to fight anybody else. I don't care who. Like it would have just been bad. Yeah.
If they didn't get the payoff with Thanos, but that's what I'm saying.
Stiltman. Thanos lands and then Stiltman trips over him and kills him, and now Stiltman's your villain.
Or if what they did with Infinity Wars, it's like Gamora who actually has like the it's like alternate timeline Gamora who's got the Infinity Stones. Poet Scotty saying I was waiting for Adam Warlock and Silver Surfer, but no, I think the reason
too.
Yeah, I think the reason
That
for
made me
that
mad.
though is because of Gunn getting fired.
Probably,
Yeah, because everything I think Midnight's Edge has been on top of this. Gunn was basically in charge of the cosmic stuff, and then I think they switched. They had to change the plans because he got fired.
Fired for temporarily.
Yeah, and it was like 6 months or something like that. And they brought
Oh
him
no,
back.
it was a while. Yeah,
It was like he was gone for a bit, so they moved forward.
like it definitely made
other
sense why they
plans.
switched it up. But yeah, that's definitely probably why. And Nova, yeah, dude, I'm still mad we never got like a proper Nova. We just got the police force Nova, and even then, we never see him again. We just get mentioned.
Yeah, it's a tease with Nova. Near the Falls is still Disney did have Power Rangers.
They did,
but what's his name? Haim Saban.
Saban, Saban, however you want to say that.
He bought them. He sold them for a ton of money. Disney floundered with them, and the property was like going to crap, just like what they're doing with Star Wars. And he bought them back, and now he just like 2 years ago he sold them to Hasbro.
Yeah. So Disney did have it.
Yeah. Near the Fall says he does know. Okay, yeah. No. Can you imagine? Like, dude, it would be so bad
if Disney had their hands on animated stuff too. Like,
well, that's what they're doing, right? Star Wars Visions.
I mean, they're making their own, but I mean, like, imagine if they
if they got like My Hero Academia,
right? Yeah, like
terrible.
Oh, no, Deku is now black.
Yeah. Dude, All for One would not have respect for America. It would be like China. You would be like the Beijing blast.
Dude, it really would. That's exactly what it would be. He would instead of like the red, white, and blue costume, he would have would have like short black hair and then red and yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, red and yellow and black. Yeah.
Taipei kick. All right, that's my fist, but
the Shanghai Shuffle.
Oh no.
The Hong Kong Hook.
I was gonna say, oh no, I'm not gonna get us demonetized. So moving
Probably
on.
already are.
I was gonna say the Uyghur whip from his new move, his black like whip move.
Oh yeah, Deku's move. I knew the Falls has had problems with Hasbro, but at least it ain't like the worst thing in the world. We'll see what Hasbro does.
I'm pretty fine. They seem.
I like the first two Transformers movies. I know, hardcore, like it's not G1, obviously, which we like. Literally, when they did G1 in Bumblebee, the opening of Bumblebee, so awesome. But I liked I mean, I'm not against what Bay did in the first
I'm not either.
movies.
I like the first one. The second one's fun to watch, and
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, Dark of the Moon. It's
with
fun
Spock.
with Spock.
Spock is the villain. That was great.
Or is that the third one?
The one with Spock is I like the.
That's the third one.
That was
number
the
two,
that's
number 2 is Rise of the Fallen or whatever.
Oh, number 2 is Egypt. Number 2 is the bad one. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, where like they've got like the gangster like little like total stereotypes. And then this stupid like humping dog robot too.
Robot, and then Constructor at the end has like robo balls. That was terrible. That was. But no, I do like the one with Leonard Nimoy. That one is really good.
Leonard Nimoy as the villain was solid. So I think that's the third one. Those are the best two.
Luckily, Hasbro, I've not seen a lot of like woke push from them. I think they kind of know like we make toys. Here's our audience. We're gonna keep making.
Oh, they have Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head.
Is that them? I thought that was.
Yeah, they do Mr. I think it's Hasbro as Mr. Potato Head.
Okay. Play School. Oh yeah, Hasbro.
Which is Hasbro.
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head is Hasbro. They're there, but they're not as
it's not as in your face. Disney. And obviously, like as we've seen, they're willing to listen to us when people go, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard." They're like, "Okay, he's Mr. Potato Head."
Yeah. People give Michael Bay a lot of crap, but like I don't know. One of my favorite movies ever is a Michael Bay movie, and that is that is The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. And there's a lot of explosions, but that car chase scene is freaking fantastic.
Yeah,
they're going through the
like
San Francisco or whatever it is. I think it's San Francisco. Is it San Francisco at the hills?
Francisco, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No,
dude, Spencer's a huge Power Rangers fan.
Oh yeah, Mjolnir. I mean, my whole persona, my handle is based on Kamen Rider, the brother series to the Japanese Sentai that made Power Rangers. I love them. I grew up with them, and I mean, like, if you catch us on our Blackfield streams on Wednesday, I talk about the comic books pretty often because I that's like one of the last things from the West I still read.
Yeah, I got an email from Boom about Power Rangers number 9 first look, so look for that later today. I was going to put that up on the site. It looks like there's like this really cool like samurai armor.
Then yes, let's get some samurai ranger armor. Not just samurai rangers, but like armored rangers.
There's like a guy who's like an eagle. I don't know who that. He looks like he's an eagle, like a humanoid eagle. Who is the samurai?
Oh, dude, what? I gotta see this. I gotta see this.
Here.
This article when it throws up.
That
oh
right.
Whoa, that guy's right. Oh, he's a villain. Yeah, I know who that is.
But that armor looks freaking dope.
Looks cool.
So that looks cool.
That looks
like actual like
that looks like Japanese Taskmaster.
yeah. But I don't know. That's just cool. It's like cool artwork, right?
Yeah.
Chuck Diss was just talking about this, like good craft. And
somebody brought up the point you always bring up. So yeah, lost for words. Deconstruction requires an understanding of the source and a careful analysis of the source. What Marvel are doing is deconstruction as they have is destruction as they have no understanding of the source. They don't care. True. John always brings up this great point that like I've fallen in love with. Yeah, that I've fallen in love with ever since he said it, is that when you're so focused on like breaking everything down and deconstructing things, you can't make anything beautiful. Like you can't make anything new that's good or worth engaging with because you're too busy looking at how you can break everything apart and make everything sad.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'll kind of counter my own argument there. When I was a kid, I loved Legos, right? Like huge Lego fan. And you get the Lego sets, right, that you build. But then after I would build it, I would like follow the instructions and everything. Like I had like the Naboo core vehicle, like the core Earth core thing, the Stingray like looking thing. And you take it apart and then you like build your own thing, right? But these people, like with that, like yes, I took that apart and I built my own things but I built my own thing, right? These people are still they're still tearing it apart, like so they can't get to the building.
I guess I think I crossed myself up because like that's what I was getting at with his with Lost for Words point of what they're doing is destruction because they break it down, but then they don't want to build anything up with it. They just want you to look at it. Like here's my pile of Legos. This is good.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you just ruined the Naboo core drill. You're gonna make something else out of that? Make something else? Are you saying this is bad? Saying my art is bad? This is my truth in art.
And then even like the term deconstruction isn't like I guess probably the most prominent book that is referred to as a deconstruction is Watchmen. But even then, like he's not deconstructing he's not bringing anything down. He's just in those he's just like I feel like he's just taking character traits and amplifying them on one character. Like Rorschach is just solely he's like a one man motivated to this one thing. He's not being like I don't know.
See, I'll counter that in that I do think it's a deconstruction in the sense that what
it's critiquing
Moore was going for. Yeah, he was trying to break down that myth of the superhero, but at the same time, he
builds the myth though, right?
He wasn't just simply shitting on superheroes.
Yeah,
like, Watchmen doesn't just end with like superheroes are all bad and that's it. It's superheroes are complicated. We don't know, like they're not as happy-go-lucky as the comic books might make them out to be because the real world is complicated. But he still built up that story and those characters to deliver that message instead of just going, hey, you see Batman, here's Batman. Batman is super violent now. Okay, cool. What are we doing with that story?
But even then you go back to the original Batman stuff. Like he was violent. He's always
but
kind of been
but there's a difference between like Batman having a rifle and shooting at like the Joker, or not the Joker. Like he shot. There's a cover I can see with him and Robin on horses with like a rifle. There's a difference between that and like Rorschach smashing the guy's face in prison, right? Like,
I mean, there's one Batman. Like, there's an old detective comic where he literally like hangs a guy from a helicopter.
Oh, dude.
So, I mean, but you talked to Chuck Dixon about that, and Batman, the character of Batman has evolved past that. He like that's not what he does anymore.
Oh my god! What he says is like a banger too. I am. Oh my god!
Share it.
His one-liner is a banger.
He's brutal. Here, hold on. We gotta. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
So it's the bat plane, not a helicopter. Yeah,
dude, jeez, I love that line. He's probably better off this way. Dang, Batman.
So Batman does not act like that anymore. Obviously,
not anymore. He might. He should.
Yeah, Poet Scott. No, see, this is the problem. This is what Eric July points out. They have all of these really cool black characters. But instead, what their whole agenda is that they want to race swap, gender swap, sexuality swap, and tokenize them instead of actually showing you the black characters. And he's even criticizing the actors for taking on these gender swap roles. It's like, no, I don't know. Instead of, I'm trying to think of a Marvel, back. I guess you could say, what's his name? Heimdall's character. What is his name? What the actor?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. Thank you. Like he should have been like, no, I'm not going to do Heimdall, but I'll do Blue Marvel, right?
Right.
For the Hawkman guy, he's like he should have been. What is his name? Aldous Hodge or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Aldous Hodge, I think is his name. He's like, no, I'm not going to do Hawkman, but I'll do Jon Stewart. Right,
something like that.
Yeah. So, because you could do that, like that's what they should be doing.
I'm always so torn on the Heimdall issue because, like, you're right, like he shouldn't have been swapped, but I still feel like Heimdall's casting and maybe like there's probably like one or two others.
I mean, they swapped the other guys too, like Hogan.
But like back then, I feel like I'm more okay with it because I do truly feel like it was we are picking the actor for the job.
Right.
Like Idris Elba, you blew us away. Like, let's get you for Heimdall because back then. It's Thor 1. Nobody cares about Marvel. It's just a movie at this point. Nowadays, though, I think it
was an agenda. You could tell it wasn't an agenda.
Nowadays, it is agenda. That's why I think everybody loses it now. Where Heimdall, fine, whatever. But now we know you're doing it to push this ideology, and it's annoying.
Right. Yeah. I really don't think that's what it was. I mean, maybe they were, but we hadn't like caught on to it yet, but I don't think so. I
just feel like if they were going to do that in that movie, they would have picked a more they would have done like Loki, like somebody, like if they were really trying to push an agenda, you're going to give your front and center character, not the dude who spends half the movie encased in ice swinging his sword.
Yeah, whereas literally Hiddleston tried out for Thor, and they're like, no, dude, you're Loki. So.
I love stories like that. Like, what's his name? Kurt Russell's son, the guy who played John Walker. He tried out for Cap.
Yes. No, he's for everything I've seen, it sounds like he actually did a pretty good job as a U.S. agent. From what you guys have said, I haven't watched it.
He's my favorite part of it all. Like,
he's literally the Rorschach of.
Pretty much.
He's the Rorschach of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. What is it? What do you got here? Let's see.
More Batman.
There's a sickening snap as the cost. Yeah, like he's literally breaking the guy's neck, like just killing him. The mighty pressure of the Batman's boot.
So great.
It's just, Detective Comics number 30, really early Detective Comics. So, Neo the Fault says, "I'm so mad Marvel haven't introduced an Iron Man in a wheelchair."
Oh wait, didn't they?
They did. War Machine was like crippled after the airport scene
after
Civil War. And then Tony has to like get him some kind of like
robo.
He's got these. Yeah, well, I don't think it's not like robo like yeah, I guess it is because he's
like a robo brace leg thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
brace.
the thing that Batman puts on in
Christian
Dark
Bale's.
Knight Rises. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go all of a sudden.
That was dumb.
It was super dumb.
Yeah. As much as I like that, I do enjoy that movie. It was stupid. I was watching Chuck Dixon's video. He was just like Nolan just like sends in like these like insanely 6-hour long director's cuts, and then the studio chops them up. Like that's what he said. How he works.
I believe that. That sounds like I would imagine Nolan
make it work
like that. Yeah.
I mean, I liked the bat. I mean, Batman Begins is a fantastic movie.
Batman Begins is the best one.
Dark Knight is great. Is solid as well. I like that trilogy.
It's not a good
honestly,
Batman movie, but it's a good movie. Yeah, it's solid. It's a solid trilogy.
Yeah, with you're talking about the second one is not a
Yeah, it's a good story, good movie, great movie actually, but it's not a good Batman story.
Yeah, I see that again. We talk about this all the time, and I as much as people like, as much as I kind of don't. I don't like what Zack Snyder's been doing recently. I do respect him for literally just like adapting stuff. Like, the Watchmen adaptation is real. It's real. Like, I get people why they want to be like, oh, we got to switch the alien thing, but for the most part, that movie is literally
like 1-to-1 from the page. Like
adaptation 300. Is also like extremely similar. So when you actually do straight adaptations, like kudos to Snyder for pretty much doing a lot of that stuff.
And you can even see in Snyder's stuff when he does do those adaptations, like in his DC stuff, like Man of Steel is obviously supposed to be like based on like Secret Identity and John Byrne's run, right? So you get it. But then when he tries to do original stuff like Martha, like let's fight and Martha stops us, that's when it falls apart.
So no, that fight is literally from almost like the Batman Superman fight is so similar to
the fight itself
Dark Knight Returns. And then it's like, why did you put that in?
Right, exactly. Like why did you add this? You had the Dark Knight Rise or Dark Knight Returns going perfectly.
Yeah. So it's like that's what it should have been. It should have just been a freaking Dark Knight Returns live action and they would have been fine. And I honestly think maybe that's where he was going. And then studio was like, dude, you need to do like a multiverse kind of thing.
You got to set up this franchise.
Change that. Yeah. Because, I mean, Man of Steel was not a franchise starting film. It was literally a Superman movie.
It was just a Superman movie, yeah.
And then they were like, we need to do a franchise to catch up to Marvel. And it's like,
that's why Batman versus Superman has all that stuff just thrown into it. Like it has obviously Batman and Superman meeting. It has Wonder Woman. It has that stupid scene. I still hate the scene where Clark and Wonder Woman like hack Bruce's computer and they see all the like Bruce hacks Lex's computer or something and there's like the files on everybody. I thought that was such a dumb scene. Like
I kind of he has to go to the party or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is that Lex's party? I don't know. I actually like enjoyed that a little bit because
that scene, all of that was cool. I just mean like the you really have a freaking like folder on your desktop with like iconed things. These individual heroes. Like, get out of here, Lex. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, I suspend my disbelief for that because that was more for us as the audience.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was. That in, it just took. I feel like I was just taken so out of it because as an audience member, I knew what they were doing. Like, oh, you're clearly trying to set up Justice League, and it feels really forced.
Yes. Yeah. No. I 100% agree with you on that for sure. And you didn't need that because this was supposed to be a Batman vs Superman movie. Like that's what the name is. But then they also added in Dawn of Justice, so you knew they were kind of just like Justice League. Yeah, Mjolnir, I agree. I didn't like Lex figured out who Batman is. Yeah, there's definitely problems. And then Poet Scotty said the death of Superman scene was. Yeah, he was definitely trying to go for the Jesus Jesus imagery there. A little bit forced. I mean, obviously I like that, but
right. But you want it done well. Like I feel like the one
could have been a lot better.
I think it's actually in the Whedon cut, but when in Justice League when he goes up to like recharge himself, like in the sun.
Justice League.
Yeah.
So you're talking Justice League. Death of Superman was in Batman v Superman.
No, I know. I'm just saying. What I'm trying to say is that Christ imagery was better than the one in Batman versus Superman to me. Like just him going up and like extending his arms and getting the sun with like the shine.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So for the death scene is more like him being taken down from the cross.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
which it literally is taking down from the cross. And then like literally the spear, instead of like it being piercing his, like it does pierce him, right?
It does, yeah.
Because Doomsday hits him with it, like
He
the
gets jammed with
Doomsday.
it, yeah.
Doomsday was terrible too, but like, I think everyone can agree with that. And the fact that they revealed it in the trailer was terrible.
He's like a mucus monster. That was the dumbest move.
Dude, I don't know how you that should have been completely like just why are you doing this? So as much as I was praising Snyder for adapting stuff from the comics, he did not do a good job with Doomsday.
Yeah, he did
at all.
He's got good point. He's kudos to what he's done, but he's also done some really big missteps.
Yeah, no, this was straight from like just pull it straight from the comics. Frank Miller did it better. And I think that's probably the biggest problem with the movie adaptations is these people think that they can do it better than what's already been done. And you're seeing that with the I think that's one of the big problems with Amazon's Lord of the Rings. They think they can do it better than Tolkien wrote it. Whereas like I think Peter Jackson I think that like obviously he actually like going back and looking at some of this old stuff that Gary brought up where they were trying to put they were trying to put Arwen in Helm's Deep and the fans like caught wind of that and were like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, stop it.
And they're like, no, we got to stay more true to the books, right? And then like what did it turn out to? It turned out it's like one of the best huge
things of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, and I think that's why Snyder's Watchmen movie is still well respected because it stays true to the books.
Yeah.
And when you do that, like that's what Hollywood used to do, right? Hollywood used Script Doctor talks about this. Like we have like really good things. Let's just redo that and stick it true. And then other things like we can remake when they're good really concepts and make them a little better.
Whatever. Yeah.
And even Chuck Dixon was talking about this. This is Ask Chuck Dixon book. He talks about that James Cameron's True Lies is literally a remake of a French film.
Yeah.
So there you go. And there's nothing like that. Like you already have something really good. If you're gonna remake it, do it good. Like Italian Job. I like the new Italian Job remake. I think
you like that point you just made is like so poignant, and it's one of those moments for me where like a light bulb went off. Where you just said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb."
Where I said like Hollywood used to.
No. So you were saying it right, where they think they can do what's already been done better. That's exactly what it is. Because, like, guys, obviously we're open to new stories. You want a new author wants to come in and do a new Superman story? Sure. You want to do a new Spider-Man story? I'm open to it. But the reason all of these things get so disliked and obviously like rejected is because they are like what John said. They say we want to do a movie on The Dark Knight Returns. Bad example because that actually turned out all rightish. But
the animated film.
Yeah, the animated one, right? And it's like we want that.
It's good.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like we want this, but then instead of going, okay, how do we do like the animated film and adapt it and bring this to real life? They go, no. We'll take this concept and I'm gonna make it my own, and then they're still gonna use that name. So you have Batman. Like there might be a story where it's like Batman.
Trying to get you in.
Right, Batman's doing his taxes, right? The Dark Knight Returns Part 8. Like that's what it is, and it's like no. This isn't what we want. And then of course they can just do their word games again and go, oh, look, they rejected it because I'm X, Y, or Z. And it's like, no, we rejected it because you screwed it up beyond recognition.
Well, and I'll even criticize the DC, the more recent DC animated stuff. They literally are telling you that it's going to be an adaptation, and then what happens? They add in like weirdo Batgirl sex scene, right? Like what?
Oh, that was so
like
bad.
You don't need that. Like that movie's actually like good without that stuff because it's just a great adaptation because you're doing this like the source material. And I was trying to like instead of like doing what's his name's the artwork with what's his name? Oh my god, the guy who does Hellboy, Mignola. The Batman Gaslight or whatever. What is that? What it's called?
Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, Gotham by Gaslight. They had to do all of these like weirdo things to try and like trick you. It's like no, like we know the story is good already. You don't need to like make any changes. Just give us that story because that story is a great story. Alexander. Oh, he's saying I went away because I turned around. I was trying to find the book on my shelf because I have it. I've got 2 copies, I think. Gotham by Gaslight. He says, well, concept can be awesome, but now new concepts are given a go based on someone being CRT. Yeah. I think 100% right on that. New concepts. Like I'm like both Spencer and I really love. What's the guy's name? The guy who did Bright, the writer.
Oh,
he has a fantastic. He's got like Superman, American Alien. I think is his like 6-issue Superman story.
Yeah.
He's basically persona non grata now. They like he's been.
Max Landis. That's who.
He got me too'd. But like that Superman story is great.
That's such
a great Superman story.
Oh my gosh!
But it also stays true to the Superman stories. And I also like the they did an animated story where they created new Superman, a Wonder Woman is actually a new god.
That was Justice League Gods and Monsters.
Yes, I really like that animated film. Was a totally new concept, and it was great. I really enjoyed that.
Dude,
it was obviously like
as Batman, like Man Bat as actual Batman. That was cool.
Yeah, Man Bat as Bat. Yeah, that was. I actually liked that. I really enjoyed that. And they did it well.
Yes,
because they created like honestly like obviously they wanted to use the Justice League brand, but those were totally like new characters. Obviously, it was like Kirk and stuff. Like they used like characters. Except for I don't know Superman. I think was a brand. I think he was new.
Yeah,
but Kirk was. No, he was Zod's son. Zod sent him off.
Yeah,
and so
that's
he
right.
was instead of being Jor-El's son, he's Zod's son who's sent to, and then he's raised by illegal immigrants and who like found him crossing the border or whatever. And so he has like a different background, different like upbringing. He's a completely different character.
Yeah,
he is. He's like Superman, but he's a completely different character, and the way he acts is different too. He's much more Zod in the way he acts. Yeah. And then she's a new god. Like it starts with a B. I feel like Betty or
it's not Barda. It's
It's not. Yeah, it's not Barda. Becca. That's it.
You got Kirk Langstrom, who's an actual vampire Batman.
Right. And then the villain is like Lex is actually not the villain, which that was like a nice twist.
Steve?
It's Metal Man.
Metal Man. That's right. Yeah.
Right. It's the guy. I think it's Langstrom's friend.
It's
like Metallo. Or
Dr. Ivo with the Metal Man. He uses the Metal Man.
It's the Metal Man. Okay, yeah, Ivo with the Metal Man. Yeah, which was a great twist. I like that. It was a good twist.
It's a good film. Everybody should give it a watch. It's probably on HBO if you got it.
I like this idea. Blue Beetle travels to.
I was just going to highlight that. Shogun. Yes, yeah, dude. That's just depending on which version you send. Like if you send Ted, that's just The Last Samurai, and that's awesome.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. No, but dude, they can't do that anymore.
No, they can't do that anymore. If you sent Jaime, you could even straight up just have like a shonen. Like, it'd be an isekai. I was an American superhero who got transported to feudal Japan, and now I became Shogun.
I like that too. That's great. Japan, run with that.
Dude, Japan's been on our characters. They're just way better.
But so this is what like. This and again, I say this often. There's a reason why that first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie is so good because it's literally just the first. It's the first comic that was published, and that is I love that comic. I still think that is one of the greatest comics ever made, and that story is so good. And that's why that first TMT movie is so good because it is an adaptation.
What it must have been like to read that first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when it dropped. Was like, dude, it changed everything.
It's so
cool.
And that is an example of these people like, oh, like just create you can't just create new characters or whatever, and they did, right?
Yeah.
And within 2 years, they had an animated show, and there's a live action movie. It's the same thing with My Hero. Like you can just list all the anime.
I was about to point to anime. Demon Slayer, My Hero.
Yeah. Chainsaw Man.
Half the time, these series, these manga series,
Tokyo Ghoul
have like 5 chapters, and they get optioned for a series because the characters.
Goblin Slayer. Yeah,
exactly. Like that's
again,
like
Slayer.
in case nobody
and they finish it before the anime for the most part.
I know, they do. Which
unlike George R. R. Martin, Game of Thrones can't finish it. Got a decade.
Oh, so bad.
Got a decade to finish it before the TV show, and
he's still not doing it. He's like writing something else now.
Yeah. No, he's doing. Yeah, he's. I mean, he tells you what he's doing. He says like, I'm writing it,
else.
but
it's that video game, isn't it? The Elden Ring. That's what he's doing now.
Yeah, he's doing he's doing work on the Elden Ring. That's right. Yeah. But no, yeah. I mean, this is right. Like, this has already been adapted too. I think they did it. A Korean show found this and did a live action of it. And Brandon is having. He's like he thought about doing he thought about pursuing them legally, and it's just so complicated. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's literally called Chicago Typewriter, but it's like a Korean show. But I mean, seriously, you have all of this stuff that they like. Injustice is another example. Great new thing, and I think the comics actually
spin on it. Yeah. Oh yeah,
the comics actually do better than the video game. The story, but you have all of these. You have all of these like. What do you think is selling from DC? Right, it's all like a lot of this old stuff is selling. Like you have All-Star Superman. You have a great Superman story in All-Star Superman.
Look what happened with their last crisis, the Dark Knight's Metal. They literally did that event to make everything canon because fans were like, "Where are the characters we know and love? Where like I hate New Flash. Like where's Wally? Like bring him back." And so they went, "Fine, everything's valid now. You happy?" And kind of.
Yeah. I'll even say it's the new Hawkman run is great. It's great.
The one by
where he's literally Indiana. Yeah, where he's Indiana Jones and Venditti. It's fantastic. It's absolutely great. And I also like the what before Valiant decided to fire off all their top talent that are now they're Dinesh has got his own thing now and he's got most of them back. So I expect good things from. I think they're called I forget what the name is. He's got it's a cool name. It's a cool name, but I can't remember though. But yeah, it's just it's Kathleen Kennedy all over again. Because remember, with Star Wars, she's we don't have any source material, which was obviously a lie. They have tons of source material, and they took from it. They took the bad stuff from the source material and then stuck it in their sequel trilogy and said you literally have right here. You have Legacy, which lets you get away from a lot for the most part get away from the OT. Yeah. But then you have excellent Luke still being Luke, giving advice.
You still have the connections. You can still play in the universe.
Yeah,
but
still Sith and Jedi, but there's also a little bit more different political things happening, and it's there. It's a great story. And it's already written, and you can just adapt it.
Well, I think that's the Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars stuff is a perfect example, especially the extended universe stuff, a perfect example of what you were talking about, where they have all this stuff, it's what they're doing. They go, we don't have anything. Oh, hey, check out this new idea we came up with. It's called Force Healing. It's called Jin Urso. And it's no, those are just the ideas from the extended universe that you're trying to make your own, and it sucks.
And here's if you want to do a cool if you want to do something cool, crazy cool, Paul Pope's Batman Year 100.
Oh, Paul Pope's series is great.
This is crazy awesome. And it's radical. It's still radical.
It really that's the best word. You guys really should check it out. Yeah. I love Batman Year 100.
Yeah, his Batman, look at this. This Batman is a different Batman, right? But he's still Batman. He's still Batman. And he's Batman. Well, yeah, you just got stuff like that you want these different stories. I'm gonna go one of the greatest Batman stories ever is literally is Bane, right? is the Bane origin story. Instead of as much as I enjoy Dark Knight Rises, how much better would that movie have been if they actually adapted the Nightfall storyline?
Oh, it would have been so much
did a live action night. Serious, yeah.
Man, I would have they should have done the whole new Batman thing and everything too. That would have been a great setup.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like
John
that's what they
Paul.
should be doing. They should be like if I was at Warner Brothers, I would take basically our highest selling Batman story ever and like, okay, this was our best selling Batman story ever. We're putting it in live action now.
Yeah, like let's do it. This is clearly what the people want.
Why would you not do that? Like, because in Nightfall you get everything, right? You get like Joe, you get all of them because they're all in there.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a mismatch of them all, but it works.
Yeah, because it's Bane manipulating them all. It's like to weaken Batman. It's fantastic. All right, let's see what we got. What is Alexander saying over here? What am I missing? Yeah, he said cultural approach. Yeah, it does. It only works one way, especially in America, which is crazy because it does in China. It's the opposite, right? All right, we've been going for 2 hours. This is almost
Whoa, it's almost
Black
a
Pill
Black
stream
Pill
live stream. So I think we're gonna cut it off here. Is there anything any? Oh, dude, that's so love it,
right?
love it.
It's so cool.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at how I love the pacing in the bottom 5 panels. Like the guy's out in this dark alley and flicks, and then you slowly see the flame coming up to light Batman's. Oh, it's so cool.
That's so Batman too. Because is that Gordon?
I don't remember if it's Gordon.
Batman Year 100's version of Gordon.
Or Gordon. Yeah, I think it is. I have to go back and reread it.
That's something that Batman.
I think it is Gordon. I'm pretty sure it's Gordon.
Okay, yeah. It's been a while since I've read it.
I know, same here.
But yeah. See, they've got it. They've got it all there. But these people, they just want to. It's like no, like I'm like I don't understand. Like I get that creativeness, but like I almost like almost of the opinion. It's just like with like I know we criticize Marvel Studios a little bit because the directors they're not as creative. But at some point, like they are being hired by the studio to do a job, right? You're hired to point the camera in a certain direction, right? Like we want you to write the story
like
or
Marvel,
do the story.
Disney that's so ideologically focused. You're really just getting hired to hold the camera.
Yeah, so it's like at some point you can hire people. Like we want you to here's this story, make this into a movie. Like
right.
This is your script. It's right here. Like we don't need to hire a script writer. We've already got it because we already own it.
We can hire a screenwriter who can help you translate it, but all the dialogue, everything is here. Like go.
Right. So I mean,
we don't need to hire a story writer. We have the story here. We just saved the writer's room. Like get out of here.
So yeah. All right. I think we're gonna close with that. I think this is great. I had a lot of fun on this show. I definitely wasn't having fun at the beginning, but I had fun after. I know you were. I was like, I don't know. I was not in the mood for. Yeah. I was not in the mood to
totally
going back.
Valid. Yeah, no, not a mood for a debate. Totally valid.
But I did have a lot of fun once we moved on from that. So, and it's always fun talking with you.
Oh yeah, of course. I love hanging out.
Thank you all for and everyone in the chat too. It's good to see some new faces. Lost for Words, Near the Fault. I see YouTube me is just joining in, but we're about to leave. YouTube's like, I'll make it a little more Black Pill. But I am Mjolnir's Powers here. We see he's regular now. Nakayubi, that's a new one.
Yeah, that's a new one.
New name. I remember that. Darius
had some good talks with them.
Yeah, Darius Munchausen was here as well. I recognize that name. So it's good to see all of you guys. Poet Scotty was here.
Seriously, yeah, Scotty.
I saw. I think back in the beginning we had what about was here. Panos. That's a newer name. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. I had fun chatting with you guys.
Alex, of course, as always. Great to see you.
Yeah, Alexander Vidakovich is here. But have a great one, and we will definitely see you next Wednesday for Black Pill stream, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then these bounding breakdowns, we do them sporadically. They're kind of just random when there's something we want to talk about.
Stay on your toes.
Yeah. All right, so thank you all. Have a great weekend as well.
Yeah, definitely. Take it easy.
Yeah, goodbye.